We all have a zeal for something and a desire to be passionate about. This is not a romantic passion, but a passion for living and desiring to have a passion in life. Some of us are passionate about work and striving to make a success, while some others are passionate about possessions and striving to want more and better stuff. Still others are passionate about sports teams. And all of us spend all our time and energy and money on things that we are more passionate about. But the question today is whether you have a passion for God being a Christian. The Bible has a lot to say about zeal for God. The Greek word for zeal is zelos or zeo, meaning to boil, to be hot. So it refers to intense emotion and action. By definition, zeal is great energy or enthusiasm for a cause or objective. Psalm 106, verse 30, speaks about a man with a zealous spirit. His name was Phinehas. Who was he? What did he do to be commended? To learn about him, let's turn our attention to Numbers chapter 25. Here you find that God commanded the people not to interact or to have relations with the heathen. Despite this command, Israel committed idolatry with the women of Baal Peror. Numbers 25 1 to 3. This was done in rebellion against God's will and violating his commands. God then commands Moses to kill all those who committed this sin and to hang their bodies in the sun so everybody could see. While they were killing them, Zimri, an Israelite, brought a Midianite woman named Corby into his family in the sight of Moses and in the sight of the whole congregation of the Israelites, defying God's law and God's will. Numbers 25, verse 7 reads, When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he got up and left the congregation. Taking a spear in his hand, he went after the Israelite man into the tent and pierced Zimri and the Midianite woman through the belly. So the plague was stopped among the people of Israel. Verses 10 to 13. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas has turned back my wrath from the Israelites, and manifesting such zeal among them on my behalf, that in my jealousy I did not consume the Israelites. Therefore say, I hereby grant him my covenant of peace. It shall be for him and for his descendants after him a covenant of perpetual priesthood, because he was zealous for his God and made atonement for the Israelites. Note that they were thrust through the belly. The belly pictures man's selfish desires. Romans 16, verse 18 reads, For those who are such do not serve our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly, and by smooth words and flattering speech deceive the hearts of the simple. In contrast, let's look at the blessing of Phinehas, a covenant of peace. Numbers 25:12, a covenant of extending to future generations. Numbers 25:13, a covenant of everlasting priesthood. Numbers 25:13, he was credited with righteousness, or he was highly honored. Psalm 106:30 and 31. Are we willing to stand up like Phinehas? The path of zeal for God and his honor is not easy. In the midst of temptation in this world today, to be a Zimri, to defy God and his laws, is an easy path. But to be a Phinehas is hard. It's a lonely path and will become increasingly so as our culture continues to secularize. Are you willing, whatever be the cost, to be a Phinehas? Be blessed.